So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Dun, dun, dun. Death to Moscato.
Definitely. That's the reason why we're doing this. It's death to Moscato. Moscato is over. It's a wrap. Let's move on.
Whew, you want to hear a story? So, took out this beautiful young lady on a date. Nice steakhouse. Amazing wine list. And she was like, hey, y'all have any pink Moscato? I was like, ouch.
Now, we're not here to shame anybody.
No, but I was like, shorty, with the ribeye?
But she deserves to be shamed. But no, in all seriousness, like, I used to drink Moscato. All of us did, right? But,
that's where we all started.
But no, I had to stop. Number one reason to stop drinking Moscato. It's like 6% alcohol, 7 maximum. What you really spending your money on? If you're trying to get lit, you can't get lit on 7% booze.
No.
That's not the style.
No.
Number 2, it has a lot of calories. It's sugar. It's a sugary grape naturally, which equals calories. I ain't trying to have all that. Like, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm getting a little older, and I don't want that thing
Hey,
that happens.
I live the fluffy and happy lifestyle, so I don't know. I'm fluffy and happy.
Well,
plus it's big boy season because it is winter, so nobody
but
skinny can keep you warm.
I'm trying to have a summer body all year round, and Moscato is not conducive to that.
Okay.
So I quit. I quit. I'm looking for a nice alcoholic wine that I can enjoy and sip and still look the way I do. Okay.
So we're gonna start
alternatives.
With Riesling, Moscato alternatives.
Moscato alternatives. Sweet wine alternatives.
There you go. So the first thing that we're gonna start with is a Riesling, right?
How much alcohol it got?
Ooh, let's take a look. So this is Chateau Saint Michel, and this is 11% alcohol.
Way better. Already better than Riesling. Than Moscato.
So it's gonna take less to get the job done.
Exactly.
All right. Ooh.
This ain't no typical porch pounder. We going this nice little slow sipper.
Let me pour you some.
Please and thank you, sir. Feel free to go. Oh, that's it.
Ooh,
okay. No, you're right. We tasting a lot of stuff today. I'll take it easy.
I mean, if we're getting lit, let me know.
Go ahead, pour yourself some.
All right.
Now, let's go into the tasting of it because that's what we're here to, go over as well.
Yeah.
Your typical Moscato flavors of peach, let's say tangerine or nectarine, honeysuckle, maybe a little bit of lime, but it definitely has that sweetness factor to it. Riesling, on the other hand, what do we have here? The Chateau Saint Michel. It is a sweet Riesling, so you're going to get those same type of tasting notes, that peach, that tangerine, but you're going to get more citrus as well. That cuts out a bit of that sugary sweetness.
Yeah.
Plus, higher alcohol means less sugar. We'll probably get into that a little later on how we convert the sugar to alcohol
wine 101,
wines,
yeah.
but for right now, let's just drink up. And the sweetness?
That is just sweet enough without being too cloying. Yeah. I actually like that a lot.
That's beautiful. Nice and chilled. It's perfect.
Ooh, you go again.
We got more.
It's okay. We got all it. And plus we can Uber it anyway, so okay.
True.
Don't drink and drive.
You know what we're forgetting? Our 5 S's.
Okay then, so earlier we mentioned the 5 S's. So when evaluating any wine, this is what we do. First thing you do is look at the wine, which is the first S, which is see the wine. Usually you put it on a white background just to see what it looks like.
It's white.
It's white wine, so there's not much really any big colors in it. It's just pretty much a nice clear wine, right? Next thing you do is swirl the wine.
Why do we do that?
All right, so you want to release the aromas because before you taste anything, the first thing you do is smell it.
Definitely, because you only have 4 or 5 taste buds?
Exactly. So it's like whenever you're tasting something, the smell has a lot to do with it.
You can smell thousands of different aromas, but only 5 things.
You can taste only 5 different flavors.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then we sip the wine.
Which we've done several times already, so once again won't hurt.
Salud.
Ooh, what's that? What are you doing?
Then we do a little swirl in the mouth.
I finished my wine already. Let me try that again.
You could spit or swallow. We all know spitters are quitters, so over here at Black Songs, we swallow.
Yes.
Ooh, you swallow.
You're a little weird. I don't know about you, but...
That was good.
It's tasty. I like it.
And it's sweet without being too overly sweet. And I like that.
And it still has that nice, that orange fruit, that orange stone fruit kind of taste to it. That gives you that perceived sweetness. but without all the sugar and calories.
And remember, what does sugar do? Sugar kills more people a year than police. Or more black people a year.
More black people, everybody else is pretty safe.
Alright, so the next one we're going to move on
What's
to...
our next alternative? Red wine.
Ooh, so we're doing a red wine. So a lot of people that only drink Moscato, the first thing that they would say to me is, oh, I don't drink red wine, I hate it.
Because it's bitter.
And it's
That's
bitter.
the word.
And they always use the word bitter because naturally what occurs in red wines is in the skins and the seeds of red wine, there's something that calls tannins. And tannins tend to dry out your mouth and gives a perceived bitterness towards a wine. It has its place. Wine snobs really appreciate tannins.
Yes, definitely.
But wine rookies tend to shy away from it. In the right situation, a tannic wine can be perfect. But what happens with this particular Shiraz, which is Jam Jar, a sweet Shiraz, very little tannins. So when someone who only drinks Moscato asks me for a recommendation for a red wine, I usually start them off with this because it's a great way to introduce yourself to red wine.
May I ask what's the alcohol percentage? That's very important to me, obviously.
I'm always trying to get lit. This is 12.5% alcohol.
We're getting there.
Oh, and they say it's sweet perfection, simple, pure, and honest. Packed with juicy berry flavors and hints of dark chocolate. Jam Jar makes a versatile partner for everything from cheeseburgers to chocolate pudding. I don't know about wine and chocolate pudding, but okay.
I'll take it. I'll take chocolate and wine any day.
Best served, slightly chilled. It offers luscious, fruity goodness in every sip.
I'd also like to point out that Shiraz has the second highest alcohol percentage of all wine. So do not waste your time.
All right, let me pour you some.
Go high.
Oh, boom.
Ooh, spill wine.
I know.
Don't spill wine around here.
Don't be a degenerate.
I can't be a degenerate. I'm drinking wine.
You're supposed to be a sommelier. You're supposed to be fancy.
Look at me, I'm swirling.
So we're gonna look at it again. Nice deep ruby color. Let's see what we smell. What do you got on the nose?
It smells like some dark berries.
Yeah, and I do smell a little bit of that chocolate. I don't know if it's you beside me or
maybe what. A little. I put on some cocoa. That's the cocoa buddy you smell.
Ooh. Then.
Are we tasting?
Ooh.
Okay. What's that thing you do? I heard you slurping.
Oh, that's for later. So that was actually me swirling the.
It's a technical reason why you do that. If you hear us slurping,
what I'm doing is aerating the wine in my mouth so the flavors can go through. Yes.
Yes, that's the slurping that
You're gonna
we're
get
discussing.
me in trouble. You're gonna get me in trouble.
How sweet is this wine?
Actually, I would say just as about sweet as the Riesling.
Okay, but I taste a little bit of tannins, which you're naturally going to get because it is a red wine. Those tannins, or the color of the red wine, comes from the tannins of the skin, grape skin. Grape skin.
So it's a little, but the tannins are so minute you can't even pick it up.
Exactly.
So for you sweet wine lovers, this would be perfect.
For you cheeseburger lovers, this would be perfect. Go great with barbecue and like just grilled food. Granted, summer is over.
This is actually one of the ones that I actually pair with jerk chicken.
Ooh.
This is great with jerk chicken.
I'm all about a jerk chicken.
All right, we'll cook some later.
Don't tease me. Wait, we gotta finish this whole thing. We got more wine.
You said pour you a big pour.
Scheisse. I did. All right.
Spitters are
Bottoms
good.
up. I thought we were chugging it.
No,
We're not?
you're not gonna get me to ride the boat on this bottle of wine. But this is good.
This is good.
And then what we actually did is we put it in the fridge and took it out like about 5 to 10 minutes right before we drank it. So
yes, it is definitely okay to drink your red wine slightly chilled. It's necessary for it to be chilled a bit.
Because red wine is supposed to be had at room temperature, but being that we're in Florida,
there is no such thing.
Room temperature is hot as balls.
Yeah.
So what we recommend is you put your red wine in the fridge and take it out about 5 to 10 minutes before having it.
But no ice, please. I mean, maybe
be classy.
Be classy.
Be classy. No ice.
No ice.
No.
No. Unless it's sangria.
Yeah, but.
But still, just no ice. You said we weren't chugging.
You said to tease you, so.
All right, let me catch up.
Alright.
This is honestly a sipper. You're supposed to sip this.
Yeah, but it's so good.
With the elevated alcohol.
But it's so good.
It is good.
And the last
Do you
sweet
get
wine.
like that jammy plum?
I mean, they call it jam jar for a reason.
Absolutely correct.
Let me have a little moment right there. Oh yeah, that was good.
The chocolate's at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. It's like dessert, but not.
And that's another thing that's perfect about sweet wines. They're usually meant to have in dessert settings, and they usually recommend that the sweeter your dish, the sweetness of your wine should kind of match up
To
with
match
that
up.
dish. So
But
these
there's
are
also that the other way around, spicy and sweet.
spicy and sweet work perfect. So, being that most ethnic foods are usually very spicy.
Yes, flavorful spice.
Yeah.
You can match up a nice red wine or white wine to that. Nice semi-sweet or sweeter.
We're Scotch bonnet people. We're not jalapeno people. So it's like
Very true.
these wines go perfect with anything you put Scotch bonnet in.
Okay. Okay, and what's our last one?
So our last one is we're doing a ruby port. Ooh. And your favorite question, let me give you the alcohol content before we even start.
You.
So this is, you're going to like this, 18.5% alcohol.
We've made it.
So being that this is so strong, it's not recommended that we do, or we ride the boat with this one, so we don't do heavy pours. It's meant to have in the little small port glasses.
Okay, we don't have any of those, so.
No. And I don't want you to complain about finishing it, so I won't pour you too much.
Well, about port is not just wine, it is a fortified wine. So it is made from grapes, but it is fortified using a natural distilled spirit. That's what causes the elevated alcohol percentage. Of all of our wines today, port wine, just in general, has the highest alcohol percentage of any wine that you're going to find on the market. The next step up from this would be actual, alcohol. Like
Actual
vodka,
liquor.
Tequila, actual liquor.
So you know why they did that?
No, go on.
So port is actually from the country of Portugal,
That makes sense.
which most people don't know this, but Portugal has as much to do with the slave trade as any other country because that's where most of the ships originated from.
Oh.
So in their travels and they're going above and below the equator, the variances in temperature used to cause the wine to go bad.
Okay.
So what they used to do is boil the wine down to make a concentrate and then reconstitute that wine when they got back on shore, whenever we landed any port in the Caribbean.
Oh.
So what they did is they eventually tasted this slurry that they boiled down one day and was like, ooh, has a better kick. It's not as soft as regular red wine.
Because honestly, wouldn't it be kind of considered bad wine at that point if you're dousing it with a bunch of booze?
No. So
I mean, obviously no, because it's delicious. But back then,
So
they were expecting
it
something much different.
It was just a matter of pretty much preserving it. And it turned out to be delicious.
Let's see.
Same rich, dark ruby color. It is called ruby port, so I would expect a ruby color.
It's a heavy wine.
That alcohol hits you on the nose.
Oh, yes, it does. It smells boozy.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
But it tastes like raisins
Yeah.
and chocolate and a little bit of vanilla.
I usually have port with like dark chocolate.
You know what I do? I pour it over ice cream.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It is very good.
I have ice cream in the fridge. What you doing?
Let's go.
So, absolutely delicious and a great option for those who like sweeter wines.
Yes. I mean, and there are other benefits of drinking wines that aren't so sweet, especially transitioning into red wines. We don't have one right here, but like Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir has a high level of, resveratrol, and that helps kind of prevents blood clots, lowers your blood pressure. Doctors recommend, 1 or 2 glasses of wine per night for that actual reason. And Pinot Noir, which is a red wine, which you can't find a fruit-forward red wine, so it's not as tannic. You can find a fruit-forward Pinot Noir that you can transition into, and it'll be better for you, definitely much better than a sugary wine such as Moscato.
But we hope today you learned or will find and go search for some new great alternatives to your Moscato. And like I said, dun, 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 dun.
You look at me like that for?
I don't know.
That's the Moscato.
I don't know if it's the wine or what, but
It's definitely the wine.
it's pretty much the death to Moscato. So after today, we hope you find some wonderful wines that you can try and some great alternatives. And hey, if you find anything else that you like that's a little bit sweet and not a Moscato, tell us. Share it with us. We'll try it.
Yeah. We're always open to suggestions.
And trying new and different wines, but we're all on our wine journey, and we hope you start today, and I hope we can take you with us.
Cheers.
Salud.